Well, of course, growing up, we've all been, set up to think that for a man, it's not okay to showcase your emotions. Let the world know exactly how you feel. It's better to keep quiet and remain the strong man that you are, as against women who are allowed to just, explain their emotions and let the world know exactly how they feel. So why is that happening right now? And is it time for us to change the narrative and encourage a lot more men to show their feelings, if that's the case? Joining us in the conversation this morning, we have a clinical health psychologist. He's also a suicidologist, acting director for the Center for Aging Studies, Professor Joseph Osafo. It's good to see you in the studios again. It's been a while.
Yes, my pleasure.
How are you doing?
I'm well, and you?
I'm good, thank you very
Great.
much. I mean, as a man as well, do you also feel as if a lot of men have been prevented from expressing their emotions?
Of course. You see, this is it's a socio-cultural issue. You've often heard some of the very simple, generalized ethno-philosophical narratives and themes like to wait. It's the man, is a real man who takes a bitter pill. Others have said, you know, it's not easy to really, pull the trigger. It shakes the body a little bit.
Yeah.
And a real man should be there resolute and firm to be able to just release a trigger. That is just to say that men ought to be very resilient.
Yeah.
But who doesn't break down under certain circumstances? We expect that, the man can break, but he shouldn't break, that much. And so some have said that, a man shouldn't cry, a man should not wail, you shouldn't share your emotions. Now, this, if you like, traditional engineering, and sociocultural engineering and socialization of men affect a genuine expression of their emotions.
Yeah.
How will you take it if you went to your pastor and the pastor was crying and weeping over something?
I would be shocked, actually.
Amazing.
I would be shocked.
And so that is to say that because societal ideas about men have been around control. The man must be somebody who can exercise control. It also been about a sense of invincibility. You should be able to overcome all challenges.
Yeah.
It also been about dominance. Men, for example, are known to exercise control over women, over junior men, and they must show some level of resolute and fortitude, even when they are breaking. And this really affects them. So what happens is that they are likely not to tell you what they are going through.
Yeah.
They are likely to hide it. They may mask it by taking substances, alcohol. A man can go and take some hard liquor and hit the chest, and spit and say, yeah, this is what it means to be a man. Sometimes we wear facades. We are not genuine to ourselves. But it's not because we are not genuine to ourselves. It's because we are socialized for that pretense. So you won't cry, you won't wail, you will not be bothered. I remember one day I'm a pastor as well. So I was talking to one of my members and I said, sometimes I feel like I cry. I said, pastor. I said, Jesus wept.
Jesus wept.
And then we just began,
Yeah.
I said, Jesus wept. So what's wrong with that?
Is that the only time in the Bible Jesus wept?
I think so.
So he wept only once. The rest of the time he was strong.
But he wept. Don't forget that when he was in the Gethsemane, in the Garden of Gethsemane, he also, profusely, he was so much burdened, emotional, that the Bible says that the sweat out of his body was like drops of blood. So I think what we need to emphasize is that patriarchal expectations, masculine norms. Do you know that one of the problems that men have in this part of the world is sexual competence? And that is to say that, for example, a man must be able to perform in bed. So men are taking all kinds of substance. Some are telling them that you have to rub on the penis, make it bigger, last longer. Some want to last for about 2 hours. For Christ's sake, talk to the urologist and they will tell you it's a life-threatening thing to your own health. You don't need to last for 2 hours. Why? What are you looking for? Okay, so the search for sexual competence, virility. Again, the other thing is that if a man got divorced, now that's quite interesting. Men are likely, for example, to be sometimes irresponsible in marriage and leave this concept of side chickism, or some call it side chickology. So he has a wife and he's still playing out infidelity here and there. But in patriarchal contexts like ours, if a man's wife went ahead and divorced the man, data shows that they become suicidal. It's because of the sociocultural narrative. If you were a man, if you were a real man, and you could exercise control, and you had, money to take care of your wife, and
she wouldn't have left you.
Sadly. And so they break down.
Yeah.
They break down. The other thing which is very, very serious is unemployment. It's because of the strong desire for control. And so when a man loses a job, and for all those who are watching us today, if your man loses a job or is not doing well in his career, don't take it for granted. And stop making comments like, well, you made your own mistake. I mean, you should dance to the music. It's wrong. See, men have problems with ego. And as we help them to be honest with their emotions, their romantic partners should have the skill in knowing how to manage them. Don't be telling them, well, you made your mistake, dance to the music. You go through that problem. Because sometimes making the mistake is as a result of societal expectations. A man made a wrong economic decision. Why did he do so? Because he wants to build a house. He wants to manage the home. He wants to buy a car for the wife. He wants the wife to feel that, I'm the real man, but he made a mistake. So it's wrong on the part of the wife to be adding salt to injury. And to be telling him that, well, I told you, I warned you.
Yeah.
He has made a mistake. What he needs from you is empathy, and then help him to just recover.
Yeah, help him to recover, all right. But sometimes you also have to remember, because again, it's a patriarchal society, right? And so we've been conditioned to understand that the man is the head of the home. He's supposed to take care of everything that, should be in the house. And the woman will be the one, giving him support. So if he reneges on his duty, can a woman not at least let him know that, okay, you're not doing exactly what you were supposed to be doing?
The problem is not that you don't tell the man that he made a mistake. The problem is how to say it. So you see, communication is an art. You still can communicate to somebody and tell the person you made a mistake, but you still can make a mess in the way this is done. The pitch, the tonation, your posturing, the time you said it, all of this come to play. So if you, for example, told your partner, Oni, this one, you got it all wrong. I think next time, when I share a thought with you, kindly listen. Now that's a gentle way of, prompting the man. That look, you don't know all, but look at the other way. I've been telling you, that's how you behave all the time. When you start attacking a man's personality, you are hitting the core of his ego, which is his pride. And for some men, they won't say anything. He's not going to go back and make that mistake again. Some of them will completely, look, no more problem. So, yes, I made a mistake. I'm not going to repeat that again. Okay. The family will experience whatever challenge we are going through. I'm trying to get things right so that at least maybe I move away from, move away from this challenge, this economic challenge. But because the woman could not communicate this properly. But let's flip the coin again and talk to men. And talk to men. And that is to say, if you are a man and you keep making the mistakes over and over again, drop your pride and accept help. And that's why you have a partner. That's why you have a wife.
But that's the thing. I like that you're saying this, because a lot of men, even if, they're in a relationship or they're married and they're not financially there, and the woman says, this week you don't have money, let me just give you something for the week. They say, no, I'm good.
Exactly.
No, it's your money. Keep your money. A lot of men do that.
And do that. And so men must be psycho-educated that this sense of machismo, okay, this machismo complex of I must be agentic, I must have control over every situation in life is completely not sustainable. You're going to have a problem. You need people. You have to request for help, and you have a partner. So if you don't have money, and men, I mean, look at the economy we're in, a shrinking economy. Some men are losing their jobs. And so for a couple of days, you are not going to be able to maybe take care of the house, buy a few things, attend to utilities and whatnot. And your wife is stepping in to help. What is the problem with that? That is the pride we need to be talking to men about, to work on that. Because you will not be the champion as you want forever. You have a problem. That's the first thing. The other thing is to educate the parents of men, women, mothers and their sons. Kwesi, you are the man. You have to be in control. Please.
Is it wrong to say that?
You cannot be in control all the time. You see, in the psychology of men, the sense of agency is that feeling that everything must be under my control. It doesn't work like that. There are times when a sense of vulnerability helps you to have a complete perspective on how things work. This world is not only for you. There are things that may be out of control, but a little bit of, pulling back and thinking and reflecting on how things go also is very important. So it's important to tell, especially in our context, our mothers and their boys. The gentleman is married. He's struggling to put the woman in, family way. And that's it, to get the woman pregnant. And the problem may be that he doesn't have very potent sperms. The mother is aware. And the pressure is brought to bear sometimes on the woman or even the son. Hey, Kwesi, and I want to check to wait, what are you doing? Can't you just impregnate this one? And it creates a lot of trouble for them. I have been in this field for 24 years now. And I know men telling me stories of how they feel. They don't want to let the pastor know, let their mother know, let their wives know. The other thing about men is that they don't seek help on time. In fact, data shows that men are likely to use complementary, approaches. Let me go and talk to this traditional healer. Let me go to this person, especially when it comes to, sexuality and sexual competence. Because my thing is not working. I need somebody to just pray over me or somebody to just give me some medication. Please, men, the world is changing. So go out there, talk to professionals, talk to urologists, talk to psychologists. Sometimes the problem for men is not even biological, it's psychological. A man says that I lost my job and I feel my wife doesn't respect me. How on earth?
When that could not be the case.
It couldn't be the case because you lost your job. But sometimes we see the problem with perception is what I'm going to tell you. The problem with perception is that sense that comes to you of how you interpret issues. It's not bad to have a sense of perceiving things. But the problem with perception is when the perception appears to be validated by some data. So, for example, the man comes home and then the woman posturing in serving him has changed. The woman keeps telling him that, well, these days you have to go and look for a job, or me, I can't handle. So then the man will say, I know that because I'm not working. So our wives, our mothers, please be sensitive to a man.
It's interesting that, I won't say you lay the blame at the doorsteps of women necessarily, but you've been hammering on the fact that mothers, wives, girlfriends always be, circumspect in how you criticize your men.
Exactly.
But I watched a video on social media, and I'm sure that a number of people have seen it, where a father is playing with his two children, one boy, one girl. So he carries the girl, and then, he's throwing them off his shoulder onto a bed. But the girl, he gets closer to the bed and drops her gently. Then when it comes to the boy, he carries the boy, and even before the boy could say Jack, he throws him from the sky onto the bed. And then the caption was, this is how parents treat the boy as against the girl. So it's not just women who are not necessarily, well, gentle with the boys. The fathers also do same. I mean, a father with a daughter, you can see how caring and loving he is. But when it comes to the son, he's expecting the son to be strong enough to also do things just like him.
No,
so
you're right.
The men also should
you're right.
take caution. Should they?
You're right, but we cannot underrate certain factors, some biological differences. I mean, men become agile. One of the reasons is purely testosterone. There are certain hormones that men have in larger proportions more than women do.
Than women, yeah.
We are not saying that some women don't have, some women do so, but on average, men have that. And so I would not do that to my girl child with the knowledge I have. Throwing her down, I wouldn't do that.
You'd be cautious.
I'll be cautious.
But when it comes to the boy, you don't mind throwing him.
Exactly. So that is that there's no doubt. But because sometimes the agility, the agileness of a man and a boy makes you able to just jump, tumble him left and right, that you can do for a girl. Again, for example, even if you look at the way a woman's genitalia orifice is made, you can't play with her on certain things like that.
Yeah.
You can expose her. So those things are there biological.
But that's where the conditioning begins.
Yeah, but there are some biological factors we can't run away from them. I mean, you can't run away from the fact that men have more testosterone. Men are more risk taker because some of the reasons could be that because they have more testosterone, they feel the rush of energy in them that women may not feel. So we need to be balanced. We need to be balanced here. But I agree with you that the way we socially engineer them, the way we socialize them, the way, for example, gender norms. Girls must be at the kitchen, boys must be at the library. They must go out and play, whereas the girl is in the kitchen. And so the gentleman grows without knowing much about, being gentle, without knowing a little bit about house chores. How do I even get the fire started and try to cook?
A lot of men don't know that.
They don't know how to do
Yeah.
that. So I think that narrative began some time ago in Ghana, that let's give the children that fair playing ground and let them grow. Okay? So teach your child how to cook, boys how to cook, girls how to cook. Around this song which was popular in Ghana when we were popularizing girl child education and send your girl child to school. All right. So that currently in the university, at least where I work in the University of Ghana, I think if I'm not mistaken, we have about 51% of girls in the university as against boys. So enrollment of girls in the university has improved.
So we've empowered more women and we're leaving the men behind.
Oh, yes. And that's why we're saying that we have to be very careful. We are leaving men behind. And boys have problems now. Okay? So a boy is growing up. We have always thought that they are strong, they can manage themselves. A boy is growing up. He sees this young lady he's interested in. He has a crush on. But he feels like, well, let me try. He tries, it doesn't work. And he's breaking down. He doesn't want the others to know. If he tells his colleague,
they'll laugh at him.
They'll laugh at him. And so he keeps breaking down and he walk to you and tell you, well, I felt this way because, there's this girl I wanted and I didn't get. And I don't know, I'm not happy at all. And when you encourage them to share their emotions, they feel that sharing your emotions is an expression of a sense of weakness.
Yeah.
And that's not so. So that's why we're saying that the narrative should begin. When a man shares his emotions, it doesn't mean he's weak. You must allow your boys to weep, to cry.
Hold on. So a woman shares her emotions, she tells you how she feels, and you say she's nagging. Okay?
Okay.
It's the same way, so if the man now switches roles with the woman and he's the one that's always expressing
So that's why it's
emotions,
the stigma. Exactly. So
then
society stigmatizes men so much.
No, but the men
about
also do it to the
emotions.
women. Because if women express how they feel, they express their concerns in relationships.
No, I think it's a frequency.
Men tag them as
I think
naggers.
it's a frequency. It's a frequency. So
It's a frequency.
Yeah, it's a frequency. Women have been noted. I mean, data shows that a woman. Do you know that women they are often the first to recommend that they want a divorce, separation?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's quite surprising. But women are the first globally. They are the first to say, "I don't want a marriage again." It's a frequency. Women are likely to to tell you everything they feel. Because women are noted psychologically relational. It doesn't mean men are not relational. We're talking about averages here. Women are noted to be relational. For a woman, the world is related. Everything is related. The other time you said you would give me this, you didn't give me. You said that you would take me, I didn't take me out. You said I'll go for massage, I didn't go. And now you want to come to bed.
But you see, the men will also feel this way, but just that they will not voice it out. But in their head, they're thinking about it. So there's also some frequency, except that they won't tell you.
I agree with you. Because I'm saying that men have been socialized. We have stigmatized the men that if you open up, it means that you are weak. Okay? That's a resilient. We want a man to be tough, be resilient. Even when you are breaking down, keep quiet. And on top of that is, a lot of men are pastors in Ghana. So I'm just letting you know that pastors will be breaking down. Nobody, and for a church leader or a pastor, there's what we call a paragon effect, which is that like, or the fish bowl syndrome. Everybody's watching the person as a paragon. A paragon is a perfect example. So the pastor is a perfect example of what a man should be. All right? He must be example in moral life, example in managing emotion, example in economic, whatever. Everything, he must be a perfect example. And yet, he may be going through. And so another group of men who are going through a lot of challenges are pastors. Are pastors. They go through a lot of problems because they must be examples. And how about, yes, they are examples, but they are breaking. How about that? And then fathers. Okay, fathers. I mean, when is Father's Day? Recently, my wife was laughing at me. He said, you guys, when is Father's Day? You are, hey, it's Father's Day. It's Father's Day.
You're forcing us to accept that it's Father's Day.
We want you to accept that it's Father's Day. And she was telling me that, when is Mother's Day? It's so natural. Yes. And then I say, yes, I understand. It's so natural. I mean, we don't have to make a lot of noise, but people, sons, daughters are making a lot of noise. Part of the problem for men is been the seeming preponderance of irresponsibility on some part of fathers. That some fathers have been irresponsible. He goes to, I mean, he sees this woman, they go to bed, a child comes out of that, and then he says, well, that's not me. And the unfortunate thing is that he would not even attempt to take care of the child. Then the child grows, and then the child is ready to marry. If it's a lady, then the father, you know, I can also tutu nentoma.
Suddenly appears.
And he comes forward and say, well, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
That can be very annoying. So I think that we're trying to repair two things. Number one, that society should stop stigmatizing and again processing men in certain ways.
Okay.
And number two, that men also must begin to be responsible for their own behaviors, for their own emotions. And don't think that I am machismo, I am a strong person, I don't care what happens to me, I can manage it. You cannot. Things are changing. You need to open up and share. Okay. If you don't share, you can break down. Suicide is a big issue in Ghana, and 3 reasons lead to that among men. Number 1 is loss of job. When a man loses his job. Number 2 is patriarchal expectations.
Okay.
Take care of your wife, take care of your home, and whatever. Then number 3 is sexual incompetence. When a man, if you're anybody watching me, if your man has any of this, be careful. Be careful. If your man is struggling with sexual incompetence, that is to say that he has, let's say, he can't get you pregnant, or maybe he has this impotency, sexual dysfunction, or he can't sustain erections. Don't take it lightly. Or
how do you help
man,
such a man?
You have to lead him to go and see a urologist.
A lot of men don't want to.
No, these days, many of them want to.
Many of them want to?
So please.
Because you see, they don't want to admit or come to that fact that they have a problem.
No.
Which is why they always blame the women as being the reason why they can't have children. I can tell you, the
education we're doing, including what we are doing now, a lot of men now, I'm surprised at the number of men who are telling me about their problems. If I compare that 10 years ago, things are changing. So please don't think that men don't want to. Please help them. They want.
Okay.
Then the second one is when they lose a job. So a man is working, he's being bullied at where he's working, and then he says, I'm out. If he loses a job, or if his earnings aren't good, that's one thing I've seen. When a man doesn't have enough, or he's earning relatively lower
than his partner.
Oh my goodness.
Than his partner.
Yes.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. And it's a problem when the partner makes him feel that I'm the one taking care of that.
But if you don't have the money, how should she say?
But hey, both of you are living together.
Okay.
Because things can change. So if you are earning 20,000, I'm earning 5,000. Manage it.
Manage
right?
the situation.
Hey, girl, manage it.
And step in and help.
Step in and help.
Some of the things.
Then the third is the expectation. The mother says that you are the man. You are the man. I mean, I came home and you were in the kitchen. What's wrong with you? Gender norms. What's wrong with you? You are washing your wife's clothes. What's wrong with you? Stop that. Please, mothers, please stop this. Let your sons help their wives. Because you also have sons. And you also have daughters. And imagine if your daughter is unwell and the husband stepped in to just help her clean her clothes. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Let's stop this.
They say it's wrong for a man to wash the underwear of his woman.
Why?
So it's okay for a man to wash the panties of his woman?
Why not?
Would you do it, Paul?
Why not? What's wrong with that?
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. Because this is your partner. She's not an enemy. If she's unwell and you are cleaning her clothes, her underwears, what's wrong with that?
Okay.
Some of these traditional norms didn't help men. And they're not helping us. So let's change the narrative now.
Dear gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with washing your wife's panties or your girlfriend's panties. But finally, before we go, so men say they're tired of the cliche gifts that we give them. If it's not handkerchief, it's boxer shorts or a singlet. Father's Day is coming. As a man yourself, what are some of the gifts that will excite you?
We don't want the handkerchiefs. We don't. We don't want. What else?
The boxer shorts.
We don't want the boxer shorts.
You don't want
we don't
singlets.
want singlets.
What do you want?
We don't want the ties.
What do you want?
We want anything you want.
You see, that's the thing, which is why we keep giving you the same thing. Do you want flowers?
So, we don't want the flowers.
Oh.
I think it'd be good to take the man out. So, a few things.
You don't want the flowers?
No, I don't want the flowers.
You say you want what the women want. The women wants flowers.
No, we don't want the flowers. Take the men out for a massage. They will enjoy it.
The men like massages?
Oh, I'm telling you, they will enjoy it.
Okay.
Number two, tell your man, I want to service your vehicle for you this month.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's actually a cool gift.
It's a cool gift. How much will it cost? Maybe about 1,000.
It depends on the car he's using.
Oh, yes, I understand. But
what if he has serviced his car already?
You want to change? Yeah, then give him a gift.
Okay.
I mean, give the gift. Tell the man, take this voucher for fuel.
Okay.
Give the man a fuel coupon.
Fuel coupon is also another
And if
idea.
you're a woman and you can change the vehicle of your husband, do it.
Pardon, sir?
Oh, goodness.
Sorry, can you come again? You said if
your salary can
change the car tire of your husband.
Yes.
Car tire, not the whole car.
No, you can change a whole car. I know a woman who bought a whole car vehicle fresh. He gave the husband a treat. He said he took him to Toyota.
Okay.
He thought that he was going to just service.
Then
he said, "Can you give this car?"
Whose card was used to pay?
The woman used the card.
She used her own card.
Yes.
Is it wrong if I decide to take my man's card? Take him to, a car shop and say, I'm buying you a brand new car.
We don't enjoy
And then I use your card.
We want you to
I'll
spend
pay for it, but you pay later.
You are bad. We want you to spend on us. We want you to spend on us.
Okay.
Okay, so save and spend on the men.
Okay.
The men have complained. They have complained. They said the women will bring handkerchief, they will bring socks, boxer shorts, and we are tired of those.
Okay.
Give us something that lasts. Okay, you can buy, a watch.
A watch.
You can buy a phone. I mean, tell your man.
Those are the things.
We want that. And finally, I think one other thing that women should know about men is that sometimes it's not just these things, but how you celebrate the ego of your man. You got up in the morning. The man may be looking for anything.
Okay.
Oni, thank you so much for being the man that I ever dreamt of. You've been this, you've been that, Remember, a man wants her ego nourished. The man may not be looking for anything. And that alone is enough for them.
Okay.
They may not ask for anything. And I've seen some men telling me that, I'm not looking for anything. But when I woke up this morning, I thought I got the best gift. That my woman was so grateful of what I have done for her. And that makes me feel. So I know a man, it was on his birthday, and he bought a house for
his wife.
Because the woman got up in the morning and celebrated. He said, look, I am who I am today because you've been so gentle.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have challenges, but you try to do the best for me. I think you are the best thing that ever happened to me. He said, look, I'm going to buy something. And you bought a house, 3-bedroom flat.
This strategy we like. As long as you bring a house, why not?
So
we will definitely do it every morning. How long do we have to do it before the house comes?
You may get it between, it depends, but it depends on where the bed. But if you got something around $200,000,
because if after 3 months you're not buying the house, I'll stop.
Why do you stop? So then you're not genuine.
Oh, it's genuine, just that you see.
No, you're not genuine.
Something must give.
Oh goodness. No. You should keep doing that.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that men, because some of the time men feel women get into the marriage and the sense of I must be taken care of is so deep in the psychology of a woman. I am dependent. Take care of me. And the man feels, you must also take care of me.
Yeah.
I'm not invincible. Men are becoming aware of that.
Yeah.
I can also break. So take care of me. So I've told my wife, you should take care of me. This is a men's week. So yes, this morning I was telling her, you better take care of me.
Thank you for the gift ideas. I think those are those are very cool. And so if you're thinking of what to do for your dad, for your partner, for your husband, whoever it is, for Father's Day, I mean, you can fill their tanks, you can change their cars for them. You know, just find where their Visa cards are and just grab it and go and do some down payments. But use your money. And if you've forgotten, please, Sunday is Father's Day. No singlets.
We don't want it.
No handkerchiefs. No socks. No boxer shorts. No flowers.
No flowers. In fact, we don't even like the ties.
You don't like the car ties? Oh, you mean the tie?
The ties. We don't like the cufflinks.
So you want brand new cars, phones, service vehicles. You want houses, and you want massages as well.
And massages. Take us out.
Take us out
for the next 3 days.
Or you can wake up in the morning and say, my darling, I'm so grateful for all that you have done for me. God bless you. And leave it there.
And pray for you.
Pray for your husband. So this Father's Day,
don't pray me opening one eyes and looking at our face.
This Father's Day, we'll pray for you and say thank you. That's all. Hello. Anyway, thank you so much, Prof, for joining us this morning. We're talking about men's mental health. And in fact, this whole month is dedicated to the mental health of men. And so we'll keep this conversation going. Professor Joseph Osafo is a clinical health psychologist. He's also a suicidologist. He's the acting director for Center for Aging Studies as well.